Hey, what's up, guys? So I didn't expect to be back so quickly to record another video, but I want to do a very quick one, just to talk about the Atmosphere IoT Studio. I want to thank Richard Curtin from OKdo as well as Jeff from Atmosphere Studio for sharing with me about this studio environment. Now, when it comes to the OKdo E1 development board, this thanks to the sponsorship from OKdo, I really appreciate it. Um, I would say that it was the perfect opportunity for me to finally step into the world of NXP and to really learn about what the brand has to offer in terms of the product portfolio. Now, coming from a background of being very familiar with Arduino, PIC microcontrollers, and the Nucleo development boards from um, ST Microelectronics, I would say that it was quite a bit of a surprise for me that NXP, which seems like a very reputable brand, and they are reputable, but yet it seems like there is not a lot of people talking about their products. There's not a lot of talk going on in the community about NXP related development boards and sensors and so on. But when you look at online, if you check out YouTube videos and um, search on Google, chances are you will find more documentation and tutorials related to PIC microcontrollers, Arduino, um, nuclear boards, and so on, as compared to trying to find related similar tutorials for NXP development boards. Now, so I asked myself the question like, why is that the case? When after I've done my due diligence, looking through the products that NXP has to offer, I have to say that they do have a very, very impressive product portfolio. So yeah, I was scratching my head like, if their product portfolio is so good, why is it there isn't as much talk, or why isn't there as much documentations and tutorials and videos about their hardware? So when I first started into embedded development, I wasn't. I would say that I know that NXP exists. I know that there are freedom development bots out there, but I never really felt like, hey, I really want to get into NXP. I really want to explore NXP. I know that it's there, but I'm like, okay, you know what? I just want to go for something that is easy, something that is easy to get started. And there are a lot of examples and documentations for how to integrate, how to interface the hardware, the development board with the sensors that are available in the open market. You know, like for example, just an example, when I try to go to YouTube or when I try to do a Google search for LPC 55S66. That's the chipset that is on the OKdo E1 development board. When I try to Google for examples, whether is it PIR motion sensor or DHT11 temperature humidity sensor, I found nothing. I mean, even if there are examples out there, even if there are videos out there that shares that step-by-step instruction, it's not visible. If it's not visible to someone like me, who is already quite savvy, um, I think it would be a lot more challenging for newcomers, a newbie, a noob. Um, so yeah, I can see why newcomers to electronics would not want to start with NXP first. Now, I'm not here to criticize the brand, because when I agreed to collaborate with them, I made them a promise that I will always be honest. And when I'm honest in my videos and my contents, is the reason why a lot of my viewers always keep coming back, because they know that they can trust my information. So yeah, so I think there is a lot of work that needs to be done on NXP's part, to beef up their tutorials, their online documentation. They seriously need to look at more application notes, and basically people like myself, right, collaborating with them to create tutorials like how do you interface your LPC 55S69 evaluation kit with the different sensors that are available out there. Yes, the evaluation kit, which I do not have, the evaluation kit has the micro bus adapter, so you can put the different micro. Sorry, it slipped my mind, but the sensors that are compatible with that. So they have that, but say if you do not have any of that, but you already have existing sensors and buttons and stuff that comes from those sensor kits that you can buy online, then there must be a way for us to be able to use that with the NXP evaluation kits and NXP compatible development bots, right? So anyway, I'm very excited to finally discover the Atmosphere IoT Studio. So thanks to Richard for actually sharing with me about it. Um, and for Jeff, to actually talk to me about it. So I will eventually do a more detailed video to talk about like in depth on my experience with the Atmosphere IoT Studio. I'll probably also showcase projects that I'm working on using the Atmosphere IoT Studio, likely with the Raspberry Pi 4, which I will be using right, for a few upcoming projects. So here I have a very simple example. Very first thing you need to do is obviously sign up an account, create an account. Second thing you need to do is to download the um, Atmosphere IoT agent. It's a application that runs on the background on your desktop so that you can flash your hardware, right? Now, there is this claim that they have a drag and drop user interface. Honestly, it's not really drag and drop. Okay, it resembles drag and drop, but it's not quite there yet. They will get there. I hope they do get there. But yeah, it's not quite drag and drop, guys. Maybe if you have elements that are added onto the interface, yeah, I can drag around. But that's really it. But from the element toolbox on the right hand side, it's not really drag and drop. I've tried, man. It just there's no drag and drop, guys. The only way you can add an element to the interface is to just click on it, and it goes into interface, right? So now that I've added the groove button, but obviously in this case I'm using the button from the DFRobot sensor kit. Doesn't matter, right? Again, the different sensors, sometimes the chips are the same, the sensors are the same. It's just a different brand. So I specified like the pin for the button. So P1 underscore 26. When you look at the pin out, you will be able to see at the bottom right hand side the pin that I'm using, P126. And then when we go back here, oops. There's this cogwheel when you link up the elements. This is basically to specify the action that you want the microcontroller to take. So when the button is pressed, I want to toggle that GPIO pin. I want to toggle that LED. So then once that is done, you can compile the program. And then finally, you can flash the program onto the hardware. And yeah, that's it. That's really it. It's that easy and straightforward. So you can see that I'm toggling the LED on the board itself. So yeah, I would say that first initial experience with Atmosphere IoT Studio. Really easy to use. Kudos to them for that. Yep, so it's really easy to use, and I'm really happy with it. I feel that there's still a lot that can be done to the studio environment in terms of the user experience, the UX side of it. I see a lot of potential for what they can do and what they can accomplish. This feels very much like the early days version of a studio environment. You just feel like there's more that can be done. So I look forward to seeing what they are going to do with it. I look forward to knowing more about their roadmap, reading about their roadmap, and I'll be happy to collaborate with them if they are interested, in the long run, to share more about the Atmosphere IoT Studio. But even so, on my own, I will definitely be happy to use it on some of the projects just to see how it works. It's so cool that I can create a program like this without actually writing a single line of code. So that is the most exciting thing to me. Yeah. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please take care of yourself and stay safe.